A few days ago I uploaded a video on this massive medieval Minecraft castle. A video where I broke down the way I built this castle here. And today we will break down the interior and the details of this castle. Before we go into the tour of the interiors, I just want to present to you this castle. It's built on a small island outside the capital of Gelia called Osterham. It's mainly built using brick in a Gothic style because brick is made out of clay, which there's a lot of in the marshes around this city. One of my main focuses for this castle was to make a well-defended castle. So we're gonna see a lot of towers and a lot of these enclosed yards that just helps with defending the king staying here. The most natural place to start a tour like this would be the first gate or the main gate of this castle. So let's start here. The first thing we have is a drawbridge, which is in between this. I guess this would technically be the first gate, because this is built to defend from the city out here, but it's also a part of the city walls. But anyway, there's a drawbridge here which leads into the first gatehouse here. It's a small gatehouse and it's built into the walls, defending this little yard over here. And as I mentioned in the previous video, this is a nice way of defending because so the attackers, they would come through here, and if they somehow breach the first gate, you're gonna have a bad time because there's gonna be people all around you just shooting down and throwing rocks and whatnot down on your army or you who's walking here. So if you like breach the first castle, you'd still have a pretty hard time continuing the attack. But in here, it's more like a walkway just leading from one gatehouse there over to the second gatehouse. There is a small tower you can actually enter from here, and you get into this place. There's some storage and all of that, and then there's this really tight spiral staircase which takes us up, and then from here we can get on top of the walls. The walls lead around here, but as you can see, the walls don't connect further into the castle, again just preventing that if people somehow got in here, they wouldn't be able to like use this tower to get further into the castle. It's these battlements, I guess, these walls are completely separated from the rest, and that would kind of go as we continue through the castle. You won't be able to, there's only one way from one section to the other, alright? In here we have the interiors of the gatehouse. We have some diagonal wheels. These are looking a little weird, but just use your imagination. This is for pulling up the drawbridge, and you can go through here, and there's a small section of wall here as well, all just defending the front of this place. Moving on to the second gatehouse here. This is just a small one, takes you from the first like yard here into a small yard in the back here, and this would also be a pretty terrible place to be. We have a portcullis in the back here which would drop down and close this off as well, and as yeah, of course, a gate. So the gatehouse itself is pretty well defended, and it just leads to another gate bringing us into like one of the main yards, the biggest yard here. From here you can't really go anywhere besides further in to here. In here we have more like houses and things that is happening, like we have a smith and stable and all that sort of stuff, and we're going to check that out in just a little bit. But before we get to that, let's check out the defense, which we kind of walk through right now. All right, so we have, trying to show you everything here, we have this tower here which connects all of the different sections, but it's also the Magister's towers up there. Is a pretty fancy room. So we come in here, we have some storage for weapons and arrows and you know, and then we walk up the staircase. As we continue up, we'll get to different rooms. So we come to one here, there's some storage, a sitting area, and from here we can access different parts of the battlement. I'm thinking this way here would be the logical way to go. So from here we actually have arrow slits which looks down just straight above the second gate and down at this yard here. We have a great view at the approaching army, just shooting at them from here. So nice defense here. But you can also go through here and you'll get to one of the towers built into the wall, where we have arrow slits looking out over the blue ocean of this bay here, like that, and you can get on top of this wall right here. So all of this is connected, as you can see. Let's go back in here and we'll go through this narrow walkway here and up and around, and here we get to another part of the defense. This is again the inner wall looking down at the first yard here. It walks around like this. You get into a tower where we have arrow slits looking down like that. Yeah, and I think there's a way to get... Yeah, okay, you get up there from the barracks, so we're going to get to that eventually. You continue over here, more battlements alongside this place here. This is where you get into more of the interior things. We're going to check that out, don't you worry. From here we can get into another tower, more battlements or an arrow slit looking out like that. Go through here and continue your walk along the roads here. But again, it's not further connected into the battlements, which covers the keep, again just separating the different parts. Now let's go back into the tower here and check out the interior further up. So we go in here, follow up the staircase, and from here we're starting to get into the part of the Magister, but there's actually two doors leading up to two different sections. So straight out here, you get on top of the second gate. So you get on top of this area here and out on top of this tower. You can also get on to this section here from this little door here, where we have a crane bringing up all sort of stuff like goods and things on top of the walls. And this is defending the third gate like that. And from here you can also access the rest of the wall surrounding this biggest yard here, where we have this ballistas, I think it's called. You guys pointed that out in the comments of the previous video, or just massive crossbows, which I call them. So that's how it's all connected with the defense over here. Then if we go back into the tower and continue up the staircase here, we will get into the residence of the Magister. So get up here. It's a circular room, which is always super fancy, but we have a fireplace. It's pretty cozy in here. Yeah, pretty decorated as well. It's a castle. It's probably very, very wealthy, so having all this sort of colors and yeah, plasters and stuff just makes sense. And then all the way up here, we have a weird looking statue on the wall, a big green room for the Magister to sleep, and a work desk, and yeah, everything you might need. There's even a little tub over here. And the Magister just has a wonderful view, 360 degrees view from the castle and the bay and the city. Moving on, I think it's time to check out the barracks and the smith. The smith is pretty small, and I think we covered most of it in the previous video. It's kind of just built along one of the walls here. And it's housing a massive forge and a lot of anvils and tools to make weapons and other tools and chains and whatnot. So that's pretty much the blacksmith here. And from here we can get into the barracks, which is this awesome looking building. I like this one a lot. It's separated again from the main keep, but yeah, I think it has some nice features. I like the tower on the corner there. I also like the way it's built into these circular towers, just kind of making it look super cool. And then we have some dormers up here, and I like these windows, like Gothic inspired windows. We have all over this place. It's a very unique building, I think, and it really fits with the theme. Now let's go in here, and we come into a small hallway. From here there's a staircase going up, there's a couple of storage rooms, and there's a staircase going down. If we go down this, we have some storage. So we have like food, and we have wine, beer, whatnot, and other things for the barracks. So it's kind of like a separate unit. And whoops, did not mean to do that. In here we also have like armory and stuff. So we have armors, weapons, arrows, and yeah, same goes for here. We have a lot of stuff in here. So yeah, that's the first floor. We go around, we go up here, and we get into another hallway, and from here we have a small little, I don't know what to call this thing, small intersection thing, where we have a kitchen in the back here, and then the feast hall for the soldiers. So this is like their place. We have a fireplace, and it's overall just a cozy area, a table for them to eat some food, and you can actually enter to the battlements from here as well. So that's a cool little thing. Love this little room. Love the green color we have going here. And then we can continue up the staircases. It wraps around further up, and we get into this section. And now we're starting getting into the bedrooms and chambers and stuff. Here we have just like a lot of bunk beds. Look at that. So for all the different soldiers, there's going to be a ton of guards protecting the castle. So we have one room there, then we have another one in here. Again, just packed with bunk beds like that. And then there's a balcony here, which is very convenient, like if you want to send messages to the other guards, or maybe just someone down there, maybe they're training on the dummies or whatever. You could just walk out here and just shout instead of running down all the stairs. Here's a little hallway, just kind of running around here, and this is the way to get on top of this tower here. So this is also adjacent to the barracks itself. Now let's go back here and continue on our quest upwards. So we go up this little staircase, we get further up here, and again just more bedrooms, just housing all the guards. So in here, I think this is the Lord Commander's chamber. This is the man running the guard in charge. So he has a bigger private bed and a private fireplace and small working area, and overall it's a much more pleasant room. And then next to that, we have another room for, I guess we have another sign. Where did that go? There we go. Yeah, another bedroom stacked with bunk beds, but there's also like a small separate area here for like the second in commands. So you have the Lord Commander on the top, and then you have two below him. That's the idea, at least. They have like a little bit more luxury here, so it's kind of yeah, a way of displaying that, if that makes sense. It's a thing I try to do with my builds, is to think out way or logic behind some of the stuff I do, just like with the beds there, and it creates, even though you don't know the reason for it, it just creates some sort of, I don't know, dynamic things to the building, because everything isn't, it just doesn't feel like very copy paste, if that makes sense. Here we also have some more beds. This is mainly for like squires and things up here. It's the poorest and worst place to stay, and apart from that, just a lot of storage. And then we continue on to the stables, which is here. It's a big building used to housing all the horses of the guards, but also the king. So look at that, pretty cool. And next to that we have a house for the servants. So in here we have, you come in here, actually this, never mind, wrong door. Yes. Here we have a house for the servants. So you come in here, there's a small kitchen area, and up above we have a small living quarters for them. And a lot of bunk beds, again, for some of the servants. Maybe like the stable boys and things, they'd stay here. And yeah, a small living room for them. And I think up above it's just like some storage. Yeah, so we have some storage up here. Extra beds if we need that. It's really cool. And then actually go down and check out the other door, which I wrongly entered just a second ago. This door here it takes you to a part of the defense. So you come in here, storage, weapons, all that sort of things. And there's the staircase wrapping up, and you get inside one of the towers. So again, more storage. There's a ladder going up here, and then you get inside this part where we have arrow slits looking out to the oceans. The next thing I'm going to show you is the temple garden before we move on to the keep and the buildings around that. On your way to the gate, which takes you into the temple garden, we have a small, like, yeah, shelter thing here, just used for like washing clothes and doing chores and stuff. But here we have another gatehouse. This gatehouse here, is used to defend both ways, if that makes sense. So you can actually like defend it from if they come in from the temple garden, somehow breach the walls there. You can kind of defend it from here, but you can also like protect the temple garden, even though there's a like door here. You could block that off. I don't know, or it's just windows. Who knows? But I just like the symmetry there. Apart from that, you can get around here and get on top of or inside the tower where we have arrow slits like that, and also a ladder which goes up and up to the ballistas on top here, and again on top of the defense of the wall here. Now let's go through here and check out the garden. I love this garden here. It's so peaceful, and it's probably the most peaceful place in quite far, because it's far away from the city itself and it's surrounded in massive walls. So this will be a super nice place to relax. As you come in here, it's like this small patio which is like built up. We have gravel and then these like decorated tiles and a small statue in the middle there. Some potted plants, and from here you can kind of just go in. There's a lot of these paths just running around, and it's just like packed up with flowers and trees and just making it super lush and organic in a way. Although it's definitely man-made, like these two yachts are placed very evenly apart, and yeah, but I just still wanted to make it look like organic and stuff. And then we have this big tree here. I'm very happy with the way this one turned out. I like the padding, if that makes sense. Like you can see like separate pads of leaves, and yeah, it works a lot. And then over here we have the temple. There's a big dome temple here, or yeah, they're private like chapel. There's a statue in the front here, and then a lot of colors. I think it's beautiful. I also think the exterior of this is really cool. I love the way it stands out from the rest. It's built like using limestone bricks, which is definitely a harder material to come by than the normal bricks here. And I love these spikes it has on it. Just makes it look super like gothic and awesome. And now it's time to check out the cherry on top. They keep the biggest building of the castle, and this is definitely where the interiors just kind of top the other things we've seen so far, at least in my opinion. Let me know down below if you disagree. The first thing we get to here is a small gatehouse, and we have like this ramp going up here. It's pretty steep, and it would be hard to march an entire army up here. And yeah, we have arrow slits shooting down on you, so yeah, pretty hard to get through here. But then you come up here, we have this gatehouse, we have a portcullis in the back, and in this gatehouse here there's a lot of things happening. I think if we just go through here, we have like some storage and yeah, all that sort of stuff. But this is just a way to get out to the arrow slits here. But on the opposite side of the gatehouse, we have a door which takes us into this place. More storage, but also a staircase going up to like a strategy room. So this is like a meeting room. You could have like, yeah, if you have to plan your defense or attack or just other meetings, it's just like a meeting room, I guess. From here we can get to a balcony, and again this would be like for like calling on servants if you need more wine or things, you know, just like a way of communicating between the different parts of the castle. I really like this room. I think it works. But through here we get to more of a rougher looking part. This is where we have like the mechanics behind the portcullis. We have arrow slits shooting down at the front of the gatehouse here. Yeah. But in the back here we actually have a guest room, and this is not being used at the moment. As you can see, the lights are off. There's no flowers in the vases here and things like that. But yeah, so it's separated from here, and like in war times you'd use this if needed. But normally this door will always be locked, and it's actually, yeah, there's just stuff in the tub here as well. But yeah, this would be like if it's full, if all the guest rooms are full inside the main keep, you could, yeah, give someone this one. From here you can actually get into a little tower, and this is a stair tower which wraps down and out here, like that. But from this tower you can also enter to the battlements going around here. And it just continues all the way up to, yeah, I guess you can see it through the window here, like a small watching area all the way on the top. And actually one thing I want to show you, so we have to go in here again, and there are some rooms all the way up here, like that. Yes, so here we have more beds for servants and stuff. Yeah, pretty cool. And around here we have some more storage. So this is like on top of the gatehouse itself. Now let's go out and take a look at the rest of the castle wall that we kind of connected through with this tower here. So I think we go out here like that. So this wall here just wraps around, again just defending the inner keep. And if the army somehow breach the third gate, this one here, they'll still be shot at from up above here. We have this small like turret thing built into the wall. I think it's mainly here for design purposes, but it would also work as a part of defending it. It kind of lets the archers come out from the wall a little bit and kind of can shoot straight down easier. But it also looks really cool and a nice place to have the flag. You can also just continue around here. It wraps around all over this side of the keep and connects all the way over here. So all the defense of like the inner parts are all connected. Now let's move on. I think I'm gonna take a look at the keep, start there, and then we'll like dynamically just walk through the rooms, if that makes sense. It's gonna be a long clip, I think, going through this, so just bear with me, guys. And the first thing we see once we get to the keep is this door here. It's not a massive door, but it doesn't have to be, and it's easier, especially since we don't have like a gatehouse here. We already have a lot of gatehouses, so a smaller door is easier to defend, and this would be used every day as well. So having a massive gate just doesn't make sense, I think. Above we have like a statue or a mural like thing of an oyster, which is one of the biggest parts of Osterham, which is like what the entire city is built on, is oyster fishing. So we have like that with a wonderful jewel below. And then above we have a small like balcony, and yeah, thing it goes on like that. So if we go in here, I showed you this in the previous video, but we have a massive hallway once you come in here. It looks awesome. It's so tall, and we have this like areas to walk up above here, and it looks super cool, and there's a lot of depth in this room. We have two rooms on either side. In here we have the audience chamber, or the audience room. This is where the king would sit, and he would talk to his servants and his people and all that sort of stuff. But as we have mentioned earlier, he would also be attending the town hall, which is in the city, for like important city stuff. But yeah, this is like his audience chamber. Nice vaulted ceiling. I love the walls as well. Pretty cool stuff. And on the opposite side here, we just have like a hall, I think, yeah. Just like a little hall, just to stay in. It looks cool. I love the colors and stuff in here. And then we can go around here and continue over here. Here we have some storage, like that. And this is where we get to the kitchen area. So it's a pretty decent kitchen. It's nothing too big, but it works. So we have like an area to wash things. We have a massive fire here. Look at that, it's awesome. And some area to prepare food, and yeah, all that sort of stuff. And this is connected to the outside. And from here we can get into the bakery. So the bakery is its own separate building here. And I mentioned this earlier, but up above there's a lot of just like rooms for the baker and his family, and more like servants and things. Up here, yeah. And then some storage all the way up. So that's like kind of a part of the kitchen, if that makes sense. Like the bakery and the people running the kitchen and running the bakery and stuff would be staying here. So let's go back into the kitchen again, and from here we can go out into the hall, but we can also go through this little door, and we get to the opposite side of the hall. So it's just kind of like some back ways, I guess. Or and from here we can go down into the basement, which is down here. But there's also like storage around here. We have like a granary, some flour and things. We have other things stored in here. But then we have the basements, which goes around here, and we get to like this big area here. And from here we can get like to, yeah, this small like broom closet, I guess. Just some small things. Here we have some storage for some fruit and vegetables, things. And if we continue down here, we have even more. I love the massive ceilings down here. And from here we have, yeah, it's pretty dark in here. Maybe I should have, let's grab a glowstone just so you can see. There we go. Here we have a massive grain storage thing. So you have like a tap, you could grab grains or flour from here, which is cool. On the other side we have the buttery, like that. Over here we have sausages and meats and stuff being dry aged like that, stored in a cool environment. And then in here we have like vegetables and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, a big area here just to store food and everything else. There's a small door here, you might have noticed. We didn't go down it, but let's do that. This is the escape way. So there's this narrow gap just kind of carved into, or a narrow path carved into the rock. It wraps around, comes out here. There's a small iron gate and takes you down to a small boat here, so you can just paddle away in like the reeds here and kind of, yeah, hide and just out in the marshes, which is actually a really good way of escaping. Like just hide in the marshes, in the reeds, and you're pretty hard to find. And it's somewhat decently covered up. I added a couple of trees here. It was a suggestion by Equipondium, I think that's how you pronounce that, to add like a lot of trees and have this escape way, and it looks awesome. I love the way it makes sense to have an escape way. Okay, so really cool idea. And of course it's defended with an iron gate there, and there's also a gate in the basement, so it will be pretty hard to bring your entire army through there if you plan on attacking. Now let's go back to the front and continue our way through the castle. You come up here, this staircase. It's not very child friendly, but I just love the way it looks when there's no support on it, so I decided to just keep it like this. And you come up here, we have the feast hall, a big feast hall. We have a lot of like tables on either side. We have balconies looking down, and again, if there's a lot of people here in a feast hall, you'd like decorate it up here as well with tables and things. On the side here we have fireplaces, one on either side, so it will be nice and warm. It will be a very pleasant place to be. I also love the big moose up here, or deer, I guess. It's cool. Let's go over here actually. So here we have a small room. This is, yeah, what do you call it, like a living room thing. It has a small door taking you out to a small balcony thing here. And from here you can actually get further onto this section. I think I'm gonna take that just a little bit or later on. Don't take too many detours. On this side here there is a staircase, and this also goes down, so it's like this is used by the servants. It comes out here, where you get to the back rooms and things. So this is like, yeah, used by the servants and things to get up. And this also continues further up. But then if we go over to the opposite side here, we have two rooms. These are guest rooms, so it's low down. It's easy for the guests to get to. This is a pretty nice one. We have a bed and a tub and, yeah, all that sort of stuff. And the other one here is also a guest room. And this one, I tried to make it look like it was not being used. It's dark, it isn't cobwebs, hasn't been used in a while. And there's no like lit candles in here either, so. And the bed is not made. So yeah, and a room that's not being used. Then in the back here we have a staircase which wraps around and takes you to this marmor hallway. I love using marmor like this. Or marble, I think it's called. You can actually get out on this balcony overlooking the yard here. Very nice. From here we have the tea room. So it's something, I don't know, I'm not sure how common it was, but I just love the idea of having a room where we go to after dinner and just have some tea or some wine and just like relax. You could bring up your friend or your wife or whatever, just come up here and just talk in a different room and yeah, get away from everything a little bit. So that's the idea of this one, and this is also a place where you'd have some nice conversations with your allies and things, you know, one-on-one. To the left here, or actually straight ahead, we have an opening looking down at the feast hall. Quite cool. On the left here we have another meeting room, quite a big one. Over here we have like, yeah, all of this. We have a fireplace, looking pretty cool. And then in the back there's a small, like, the idea behind this is it's an office, and you could like bring one-on-one and have small discussions, or if you have, yeah, let's say there's many people in here, you could take out a few of them and listen to them one-on-one behind here. Or you could have like one of the leaders be there and then other people discuss and stuff. So it's kind of just like to have a multi-purpose room. On either side, we can actually go out on these balconies overlooking the feast hall. I don't think, is there anything over here? Yeah, I think there might be, yeah. Here we have some storage, simple stuff, and we have a small, like, yeah, bathroom thing. Then on this side we have, no more staircases, this just goes down. On the opposite side of the hallway here, we get to a staircase which goes upwards. So this will take us to this hall, and from here again, look at the detailing up here, vault ceilings, it looks so grand, really like it. On this side we have the Lord's office. This is where he does most of the work. I don't know if he does work, but at least he has an office. Fireplace, it's really cozy. It's yeah, I love the vaulted ceiling in here as well. We have a small storage area where you can store like scrolls and important things in the back here. And then if we continue back here, we can go to the left. We have the library. So pretty chill place, all right. There's some big chairs you could sit in here and read, and yeah, that's a library. It's not the biggest library I've seen in a castle, but it works. Over here though, we get to the ballroom, one of the biggest rooms in the castle. It's just, look at the ceiling height in here. And I pointed this out in the previous video that I really wanted to be experimental with the layout for this one. So many rooms have multiple floors, just making the interior super organic and unique in a way. So I love this. We have another balcony up here as well from the floor above, looking down at this place. And just allows for large arches, large vaulted ceilings and things. So yeah, this is the ballroom. Further down here we have a bedroom. So this will be for one of the kids, I suppose. We have a sitting area, or no sitting area, like a tub, a bedroom or bed and fireplace and things. Then on this side we have another bedroom. Pretty big. And now you can kind of see the scale of this castle here, because you see the scales or the sizes of these rooms and how many there are of them at each floor. At least that when I started doing the interiors, I realized how big the castle was. I feel like I can just walk on for hours in here. So yeah, this is another bedroom. Yep, let's go back here and continue upwards. And now we'll get to the Lord's floor, I guess you could call it. So we get in here. Here we have yeah, we have one bedroom. This is not for the Lord. Just another bedroom in here. Pretty cool. I like that. And in the back we have a small like bathroom, private bathroom thing, and a tub. Or yeah, I think it called it a tub. I don't know. But now if we continue on here, so from here on and throughout this place, it's mostly for the Lord's soul enjoyment. You can actually get out on the balcony here, looking down like that, and then through this door. This is meant to be like a big door, but yeah. You get into the Lord's chamber, and again we have a room that stretches multiple floors. Really cool layout in here. A big bed like that, a fireplace, massive fireplace, and some sitting areas, and then like this mezzanine, or yeah, top part here where we have sitting areas. We have a washing tub here. Yeah, looking quite cool. And from here we can also get out on the battlements, and it's used as the Lord's or the King's private massive balcony most of the time out here. So that's really cool. Yeah, so let's go back in here and up the staircase and continue on here. So straight ahead we have like his toilet area. So he actually has a garderobe hanging off the side of the castle, just pooping straight down. So that's really cool. There's actually two of them, so I guess you could be two people here, but a king needs two toilets. That's just the law. So yeah, in here we have his bathroom. So he has a massive tub like this, and just look at the view from here. This is so lovely. So just sitting here, washing yourself, look out over the ocean. It's wonderful. Big fireplace as well, so it's nice and cozy in here. On this side we have some storage and like his garderobe and stuff. Alright, let's close these doors and continue upwards. The spiral staircase just continues like this. And voila, we get up here, another hallway. On this side, more bedrooms, you guessed it. And this one has a small working area in the back, even like a small bathroom and storage room in the back. Yeah, and continuing on, we have a staircase which goes up to the attic. We're going to take a look in just a little bit. To the left we have another staircase going up to a small storage area here. And to our right we have the ladies' chamber. This is also one of the bigger bedrooms, and it's very like ornate looking, I think. I love the walls on this one, and the bed is so big and cool. Apart from that, we have a tub and a sitting area for them, and this is built on sort of like a small turret sticking out of the keep itself. A really cool room. Next to that though, we have this big thing here, which is like the boudoir, which is where the ladies would be like spending their time. This is like their part of the castle. So we come in here, we have some lounges, you can sit here and talk, drink some wine. We also have this big like day bed thing for chilling, and a big open area here. They could be dancing, they could be just like talking, doing things here. But then in the back we have like some ladylike things. Like they could be using a spinning jenny to make textiles. They could sit here and like do, what's it called, like braiding, I think, or I don't know, crocheting, making like pillows and dresses and things. So yeah, that's like their part of the castle. Around here and up the staircase we get to the attics, and basically just like a big open room used for storage. It's very dark in here. There we go. Just like a big storage area on top of the keep. And then the final part that we haven't looked at is this small diagonal parts right over here, and we kind of teased it a little bit with this little balcony here. But this is mostly just like utility and things like that. But so like down here we have like a workshop area for just all purpose sort of stuff, like carpentry and things. And then around here we have some like storage area things. So in here we have, let's see, there we go, like storage. We have like sheets and things, furniture. So this bottom section here is mostly for storage, and then it's just like a big hallway and a massive staircase, and this takes us up to this section here, and this is connected to the keep, which where we just were, like around here. You recognize this room? I don't know. This is at least the entrance hall, like that. So it's connected with this thing. So this is just like a hallway just between the different sections. And from here we can get on top of the battlements, like that. And the main purpose of this building here is this top floors. So we go around here, and there's a ladder going on top to like the solar or the family's living quarters. This is where, like, if they just want to relax a little bit, they could come up here. There's some awesome views from here, fireplace, and there's a telescope. So this is like their living room, like their shared living room is up here, like separated from everything else. And it's just a cool room. Wow, that quickly became a super long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed the full tour of every single room of this massive castle here. If so, make sure to smack that like button, and if you haven't done it already, make sure to subscribe. It's been Viggoman, and I'm out.